What a weekend. So much promise at the start of today, and then it's finished quite disappointing. As you already know, we lost at Craven Cottage 3-2 to Fulham. It started well within the first 15 minutes. Mac went and scored a beauty, putting us 1-0 ahead. And then the rest of the first half, we looked asleep. We looked like we'd gone back asleep. And they scored 3 goals. We went in at half time, 3-1 down. Robbo had a nightmare. Both centre backs, Canate and Van Dijk, they were terrible. What I think is that when we get the ball at the back, everyone pushes up into this position where we have perhaps 4 up front, and then no one moves. No one moves, and the opposition must see this. And we just played into their hands really for the rest of the first half. We came out brighter in the second half. We didn't make any changes at half time, but we still started performing better. And around the usual 60-minute mark, we made a few changes. I think, was that when Jota went off? Might have been Jota went off. Diaz came on. I can't remember who else came on. Overall, we had Núñez, Diaz, Elliott, might have been Elliott that came on. Bradley came on, and Chiesa. And we got another goal, largely due to a great run that Bradley made. He came in and did like the inside the fullback, made a powerful run, very Gerrard-esque. Ball falls to Diaz and he puts it away, I think first time. And if the game continued long enough, it did feel inevitable that we'd get another goal. We managed to draw level, but we just didn't have the time. 6 added minutes at the end wasn't enough. And we failed to capitalise on Arsenal dropping points. I looked, and all top 4 teams this week drop points. Forest also lost, and Chelsea drew. So it's not been a great week for any of the top 4. Arsenal might feel a little relieved because they've closed the gap to 11 points, but they have lost another game to make a big dent in that. So now we're down to 7 games left, and they've got 11 points to catch. I don't know who they play next week, but we've got West Ham at Anfield, and I'm hoping we see a reaction. The players that came on, I thought, were far better. Elliott looked a touch of class, really. I always say that I don't think he's fast enough and perhaps not strong enough. So he's always going to be a bit part player for us. But if you're going to have a squad player, he is a good one to have. But the way he plays, the way he's intelligent with his positioning and his passing, it's so good that I can't help but feel he's underutilised. He should be getting more games. And it's the same with Chiesa. He looks a touch of class. His demeanour, he comes across like a little bit like Trent in some ways, I think, where he looks like he's uninterested 1 minute, and then in the next minute he's doing something brilliant. I mean, within seconds, the change it's magical. And he actually had a good chance, to draw his level. Again, I can't help but think that if he was getting more minutes, he'd be a fantastic player for us. I've said for a long time, I don't think we're going to get rid of him in the summer. In my opinion, we bought him with the knowledge we were letting Salah go. He is our cheap replacement for Salah. And if you're going to have one, he's not a bad one to have. Him and Elliott on the right, I think we'll see improvements from both of them next season, if Mo goes. Mo has been bad. He's been bad since before the final. Was it the PSG games, which he wasn't great in them either. In my opinion, I would drop him against West Ham, and I would have Elliott or Chiesa playing from the start, and then depending how things are going, bring Mo on for the last 20 minutes. Give him a serious rest and give him a wake-up call. He can't think, none of the players can think that they're not expendable in some ways. Even Van Dijk has got to know that if he plays badly, he's at risk of losing his position. You can't just keep having bad games. And Salah has had a few now. You can't. I do my best to remind myself that it's largely due to them that we're in the position we are in. So, I'm not saying that their careers are over, obviously not. They're both class players, but Salah's hitting a bad run of form, and I think maybe a 1 game, 1 week, drop him. Just let him have a proper rest. Let him, he'll come back. He'll come back hungry. He'll really, really, he'll be riled up and aggressive. He looked like he had no effort in him today. I don't know. He had one shot that he probably should have done better with. Totally ineffective. Drop him next week. Play Chiesa or Elliott on the right. Perhaps drop Jota as well. Have Elliott on the right instead of Mo, and have Chiesa up front. Just do that for 60 minutes and see how they get on. In fact, have Diaz on the left as well. Have them 3 up front and see how we get on. Anyway, obviously I'm disappointed that we've lost, but with that lead, 11 points, with 7 games to go, and one of those games is against Arsenal at Anfield. I'm hoping it's done by then. I can still see Arsenal slipping up. They've got the easier run of games, but they've drawn a lot this season. A lot. And, when they drop points, it doesn't surprise me. When we drop points, it is a surprise, because despite what I think about our performances, we find a way. We don't always play well, but we win. And that's what a lot of the rival channels hate about us. So I'm still looking forward to the next week. I'm still looking forward to every game. Actually, you know what I've already started thinking? I'm a little bit disappointed that we're almost over. The season's almost finished, because Summit is going to be boring. Every summer's boring. I don't really watch international football, but I don't think there's any tournaments anyway this summer, is there? You'll have to let me know. Yeah. So I'll probably watch the highlights later. I think you all should if you didn't watch the game. Yeah. Gutted. I'd like to stay on a bit, to be honest, but I've got to cook tea. Cottage pie tonight. I had a chili last night. It was lovely. Homer Simpson coming out now. Hope you have a great day. It's bright. Get outside if you can. And don't forget to watch the highlights. See you later.